Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us this morning. This is Tom at the company VoIP Supply, and I'm joined here by Todd Milbrand of Sangoma, who will be going over PB Exact 15 release and some great summer deals and updates we got going on with Sangoma. So we hope you enjoy. During the webinar, if
Awesome.
you have any questions, there is a Q&A feature right down in the bottom corner. You can see where that blue arrow is pointing on the slide. There's a bubble with a Q. That's where you want to put your questions. We will address all questions at the end of the webinar. So if you don't know VoIP Supply, hopefully you already do, but we do have a lot of programs here to assist you as resellers and partners as far as hardware and provisioning go. We can do full-on provisioning and blind shipping to your customers, so everything can arrive ready to go to your customers. We do have the VoIP rental program, which is very similar to the other manufacturers' rental programs, except our rental program encompasses all manufacturers. So you can do a rental on Sangoma product from us, and we keep a low monthly payment on it. It's 36-month type of deal, and you have a buyout at the end of it. Our Cloud Span Marketplace offers you the ability to shop various VoIP service providers that we are directly partnered with. You can become an agent directly through VoIP Supply, as we are a master agent for all of our partners to collect monthly residuals on any contracts that you end up closing. Our fulfillment side kind of goes right in line with our hardware and provisioning. We do have a API that you can utilize if you're going to be doing a high volume of orders monthly and you're going to have stuff shipping out direct to your customers. We do have our fulfillment services available to you, so we can do provisioning and keep a bunch of orders flowing through, going out directly to your customers in a quick, efficient manner. Also, we have our refresh and reclaim program. It's a great way to either save or make a little bit of cash. So we do buy back certain equipment, and not all equipment, but you can contact myself or anybody on my team, and we can get the models and such of what you do have over to our reclaim manager, Michael Rayhack, and he will let you know if there's interest in it. So it can give you a bit of cash back to maybe use toward new hardware, or just get you a check for some hardware that you do not need anymore. And our refresh program is a stock refurbished product. It goes through a 10-step process here at VoIP Supply. We fully certify it through VoIP Supply. The warranty is direct through VoIP Supply. The warranty is a full 1 year, as you'll see most brand new product from manufacturers carry 1-year warranty. So we put our own 1-year warranty on our refurbished product. And with that, I want to turn it over to Todd Milbrand, and he's going to go over some of the finer points and new oncomings from Sangoma.
Awesome. Thanks, Tom. So on the agenda for today, we're going to talk about the release of PB Exact 15, the latest update to Zulu, which was 3.5 and was released last month. Our new H10 and H20 headsets. I'm actually using the H20 on this call, and you know, for all the people the H20 went through, when I got this in the mail, my daughter said, "When did you guys start selling water?" So she refers to this headset I'm using as the Sangoma Water, and I don't know how all of us missed that in the H2O. That's the H20 though. We're going to talk about Sangoma Meet, and we're going to talk about the S-Series phones summer promotion, and then we'll address any questions that come in from all of these slides. So we'll start with PB Exact 15. For those of you not familiar with PB Exact, it is the commercial version of Free PBX. Free PBX 15 was released 6 months ago, and on any new releases of Free PBX, we wait 6 months of getting bug reports and fixes in before we go to a major release on the commercial version of Free PBX, which is PB Exact. And in this release, the major items are a redone backup and restore. If you've ever done any sort of upgrade with Free PBX or PB Exact over the years, you know, going from say version 13 to 14, it's a nightmare, like worst nightmare you can possibly imagine. It sucks. So we fixed that, and all future versions, upgrading is going to be a breeze. Upgrading from a much later release to a newer release is going to be a breeze. And starting right now, if you want to go from version 13 or 14 to 15, we have easy conversion tools that you can use to do a full backup and restore of the system, and thus do that upgrade almost seamlessly. We've also put together a free PBX, the PBExact Wizard. So one of the great things about PBExact is if you need more than a couple of the commercial modules for free PBX, PBExact usually ends up being a better solution from a cost perspective, and then also from a perspective of being on a commercially hardened solution. Two other things we did is we finally implemented something called Fast AGI throughout PBExact and free PBX. To not get into too much of the technical details, implementing this allows for system-wide improvements as far as overall performance. There was something that predated it within Asterisk called AGI that we built a lot of scripting for in free PBX and PBExact, and that over the years built up to some instances where on larger deployments, you would see things lock up, or you would run into issues because it would bog down the system. So those larger deployments are going to see the increase. It's going to be very apparent to them, but also on smaller deployments as well. It's going to make everything less resource intensive. And then GraphQL, which is an open source API. It's one thing to build APIs to the PBX, but since free PBX and PBExact work on a modular framework, what we have done is started building APIs using GraphQL to individual modules. This will allow folks to take those APIs and either build out different reports, build out different business or workflows using those individual modules, and not just writing an API to the PBX as a whole. So to start, within version 15, we've got 10 modules. If you go to wiki.sangoma.com or to sangoma.com, you can learn more about those individual modules that have it and what you can do with them. So Zulu, if you're not familiar with it, this is our UC desktop and mobile client for free PBX and PBExact. Within it, you've got a built-in soft phone, you've got presence, you've got the various different ways you can communicate and collaborate with folks, whether it's sharing a file or giving them a call, or seeing if they're on the phone, or chatting with them. In the last update to 3.5, we added one-to-one video and screen share. So this means if I have somebody here internally I need to talk to real quick, maybe where I can see that they're not on a phone call, and we've started instant message chatting, and we need a quick call, we can do that with video. We've also implemented screen share as well. So now, instead of dropping files back and forth, if I'm trying to get some information from someone on how they want me to apply something or do something, we can do a quick screen share and they can give me their feedback. We've added call merging, which will allow you to merge a call that you're on with a call coming in or a call you want to make. Room conferencing. So we've had, I want to say since version 3.1 or 3.2, the ability to have rooms, which were essentially group chats, where you could share files and you could instant message chat. You can now also, from those rooms, start a conference call, audio-wise, that everyone would be on. And then within the soft phone, one of the biggest missing things that people were asking for was attended transfer. So in the past, all we had was what's known as blind transfer, which means if I'm sending a call to Tom, I get the call, I hit transfer, I put in his extension number, it just goes over to him. With attended transfer, I'm able to hit transfer, put in his extension, let him know I have Haley or Mary or somebody else on the phone for him, and then transfer it over. So now I'm going to go into the headsets, and I'm going to go to H10 and H20. You can see they look almost identical. I'll start with the H10. This is specifically just for our D and S series phones. It will work with other manufacturers, though we do not quote unquote support it. There's nothing proprietary that would keep it from working with another manufacturer. Both of these are decked, the H10 and the H20. You can press a button to answer a phone call, you can mute yourself, you can increase the volume, lower the volume. If you want to hook up an EHS adapter, there's a capability for that. On the H20 though, this will not only work with the D series and S series phones, but you can also plug it into your computer using USB. So that would be the big difference between the H10 and the H20. But it's not an either or scenario. It's you can plug them in both at the same time. So instead of calling in to the bridge for this, even though I've got this hooked up to my phone, I've also got it hooked up to my PC, and I'm just using my H20 hooked up via the USB cable that came with it. So H10, H20, both released, both shipping. The H10 is for phones only. The H20, this is for phones and computer applications, specifically for Zulu, and on the Switchvox side, our desktop soft phone. But as you can, I was going to say see, but as you can hear, it will work for any type of soft phone or audio application where you need to hear and or talk. And so this is kind of awkward using IP video talk to talk about this new product. So Sangoma Meet is our video and screen sharing / webinar type functionality product. We released it back in April. This was actually targeted for launch in August, September timeframe, but with everything that was going on in the world, starting around the beginning, or at least here in the US, the beginning of March, end of April, we had our engineers refocus themselves on Meet so that we could get it launched. And as of today, you can use it on your desktop or Android or iOS device. I believe you can have up to 50 folks right now. So since we did launch this a little early, we made sure that one, we're not charging anything for it. Don't know if that'll ever change. But two, I'm seeing new features added to it on an almost daily basis. And I would suspect by the time we do this next quarterly what's going on with Sangoma with VoIP supply that we will be using Sangoma Meet for it. But if you want to check it out, it's free, meet.sangoma.com. Sangoma Meet would be the search term in any of the in the Play Store or the App Store on iOS. You can share your screen, you can video call. As of I want to say earlier this week, if you want somebody to call in who does not have access to a computer or to the app, when you go to meet.sangoma.com, you now have the option to actually give that person a phone number to call in to. And I feel like bringing this up is some sort of Inception type thing, but whatever, I'm going to bring it up. I'm showing a screen share video solution and another screen share video solution. As you can see, I block my camera because I don't ever want to show my camera. But if we come here, you can see I've got various different things I can do. If I want to have folks join the meeting, I can put a pin on it. I can copy it. I've got dial-in phone numbers for everything. I can share my screen. There's chat. So go ahead, play with it, try to break it. That's what we want right now, is as many people using it as possible, so our engineers can continue to refine things as far as the quality of the product, but then also continue to add in new features and see how those features impact the performance for folks. And then I believe this is lastly, launched June 1st, but going through September 30th, we have instant rebates on all of our S-Series phones, ranging from $10 to $50. These will go through September 30th, and it essentially lowers the MSRP price for you. So if you look at the S705, which is normally $199, has built-in Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, right off the bat, the street price on it becomes $149. The S505, which is $149, becomes a $109 phone, and so on and so on. So if you are a reseller, that is going to get applied to your reseller price. If you're an end user, that comes off of the MSRP for you. If you're a reseller and your end user doesn't know about it, that's just more margin for you. And ideally, that's what we want. But this is our what we're calling our sizzling summer savings with the S-Series phones. And with that, let's go to the Q&A. Tom, have you seen anything come in yet?
Yeah, and I just wanted to hit on as well, just when it comes to the phones and the rebate. So the S505 is retail at $149. That tends to be the most popular phone because of the price point. But I think with having the S705 now at a retail of $149, you can put that in its place. You have a larger screen, you have more features. It's going to be a really good way to leverage the Sangoma product line and put a better product in front of your customer for the same cost as what is their most popular phone because of the price point. So I just think that's a really strong thing for you as resellers to leverage. I just wanted to say that.
And I want to piggyback on that, Tom, because the S705 is the only phone we have that has Wi-Fi built in. And if you have customers who, let's just say, aren't comfortable with using a soft phone and all the tools we now have for the desktop, they still want a hard phone. I'm going to say 99% of them do not have Ethernet run to the room where they're going to be working, where they're working from home right now. And so this is a very easy way to give them something that they're more comfortable with, and at a much better price point over the next 4 months.
Absolutely, great point. I know I've personally have heard that exact situation many times, Todd. So one of the things what came up here in questions was on the H20 headset, wondering if when it's connected to the computer and to your phone, if you are on a soft phone call or a phone call or vice versa, are you able to put that call on hold and answer on the other device it's connected to if another call comes in?
I've not tried that yet. So I know we send out all the Q&A afterwards, so I will get a definitive answer on that.
Great.
Since it's DEC, for the way I work, I pace around the house when I'm on phone calls. So if a call comes in, I hear the beep, but I have no interest in seeing who it is. Shouldn't say I have no interest in seeing who it is, but I have no interest in running over to my computer to see who it is, and I just finish up the call I'm on. But that's a good question, and we'll get an answer on that for you.
Okay, and then I did have one about the rebate. For the rebate, is it a back end? Is it a back end
It's an instant. I know
rebate, or is it upfront to the reseller?
it is upfront to the reseller. No paperwork to fill out, no forms to submit. It is instant through your distributor.
And I had one on Zulu here. They were asking, the initial version had a bit of quirkiness to it. With the new version, have the bugs been worked out? Is it more functional on your desktop as well as your cell phone?
Which version are they referring to? Are they referring to version 2 or an earlier version of 3?
I'm assuming 2. It doesn't say. If you want to type back to me here and let me know what version, but
Yeah, I mean, if we're looking at 2 versus 3, 3 was a complete rewrite. So yes, I mean, if you're talking about earlier versions of 3, there was some wonkiness, especially with the mobile app, and that has been worked out by this point.
are there any other questions out there from anybody with us? Speak now or forever hold your peace. You can see my contact information right up here. I'm Tom Uhteg with the company VoIP Supply. Anything you need, please feel free to reach out. Or if you already have a rep, obviously reach out to any of the other solutions consultants here at VoIP Supply. We're more than happy to spec out a solution. We can even get Todd on the line to grace you with his presence and work through a solution with you in Sangoma type product. And we thank you all for being here with us today. We hope you found it informative. We will be following up this webinar with a copy of our slide deck and such, so you'll have a copy of that that you can go over after the fact. Okay, I did have another question here actually popped in. It didn't come in on the Q&A, it was in the chat. With regards to Zulu Mobile, can the user have the option to turn it on, off, and on? How private are the conversation on Meet and on Sangoma Meet? So it's 2 separate questions from the same person.
So the ones on Meet are completely private. Nothing is stored anywhere, and I mean, as you can see, when you go to start one, you can have all of those passwords on. You'd be able to see who's in it, and everything is very randomized. So you can avoid, I forget what the term was, but Zoom something, Zoom jacking is what I think it was called a few months ago. We have not had any instances of that. And then as far as it relates to the mobile app, if you go into your account settings, you can turn it off for notifications and everything else, and go back in there and quote unquote turn it on for when you're ready to get notifications and or use it to make a phone call.
He says thank you, and you're very welcome, Rex. Well, much appreciate your time today, Todd, and everybody for jumping on here with us. I hope you have a great rest of your week, and everybody staying safe, and just take care, and we will see you again next month.
Thanks, Tom. Have a great day.